Hey, I'm Kyle, and this is the Movie Spreadsheet, where I review, rate, and rank movies based off four simple criteria: entertainment, achievement of goal, length, ending, and then a penalty for anything I find worthy of taking points off. Okay, movie number 303, and I'm sailing through movies right now. I'm actually behind. I have a lot to catch up on, but for this one, we're going to review Alien Romulus. Now, I love the Alien movies. I love Alien. I think it's probably the greatest alien sci-fi movie ever made, and I also really love Prometheus. I'm a huge fan of that movie, and my expectations for this film is that it's either going to fall in line with Prometheus or it's going to be something similar to Alien. I love the suspense of Alien, where you get the face hugger slithering around. I just love the way that that movie is shot, and I love the way that the suspense and the horror builds. And that's what I'm hoping for going into this movie. So I know it's maybe a lofty goal, but I'm hoping it's one of the top three Alien movies ever made. All right, let's get to the review. Okay, category number one, entertainment, 3.5. Here's why. This movie is slow. It takes a long time to actually get into the movie. I don't care about the characters at all. And then finally, when you do get to that first really good scene, when they're on the ship in space and you encounter essentially the face hugger, which is the scariest part of all Alien, in my opinion, that scene just ends so quick and it's so good. And then from that point on, it's nonstop action and it feels less like a horror movie and more like an action movie. And I did not want that at all. I was pretty bored throughout almost this entire movie. That's why entertainment is only a 3.5 out of 10. Now, this is my favorite category, achievement of goal. And for this movie, achievement of goal is a 3. Here's why. We have this movie set out to join the marvelous Alien series. I'm really hoping this movie is going to be, again, more like Alien than Alien 3. I'm hoping it's going to be more like Prometheus than Covenant. And what we end up getting is sort of this homage to all the Alien films that came before it, rather than a worthy addition to this stellar series. Again, this movie is not scary. It should be scary. And because they have such a pacing issue in this movie, that good alien suspense never actually builds. That's why achievement of goal is only a 3 out of 10. Okay, category number 3, and my favorite category, ending. Ending for Alien Romulus, score of 1. This ending was terrible. And I think what makes this ending so terrible is the fact that there were better endings already set up for this movie. But the movie continues to go on, unfortunately for all of us. It continues to drag out in length. The pace issues become even more apparent. And then we're introduced to another alien that is just the dumbest alien ever. I didn't find it scary at all. I found it humorous. And I don't want humor in alien movies that are built around suspense and horror. Ending for Alien Romulus, 1 out of 10. Okay, the final category, length. Length for Alien Romulus, 2.5 out of 10. I've already mentioned, I have a problem with the pacing of this movie. I have a problem with a 2-hour movie being so slow to start. I have a problem with the fact that it takes 30 to 40 minutes to get into anything good. And in that 30 to 40 minutes in which you should have been developing your characters, you didn't. I don't care about the characters at all. And the fact that the movie probably had 3 to 4 other endings that would have shortened this film all adds up to why that length of 2 hours is just simply too long. The only good thing about the length of this movie, which is why I gave it a 2.5 and not a 1, is because it allows us to see the wonderful acting that was David Johnson as Andy, who I just thought was so phenomenal as the AI or as the robot, whatever you want to call it. Amazing, but that's the only highlight for me. Length 2.5. Okay, here we go. The final bonus category, we'll call it. This is the penalty. Yeah, I hate this one with the penalty because when your monster at the very end looks like a freaking spider crab, yeah, you're going to penalize for that because that was not scary at all. It was stupid. So, penalty 5 out of 10. So, it's a half a point taken off the overall score. Real quick overview of the scores one more time. Entertainment 3.5, achievement 3, ending 1, length 2.5. With that half a point penalty, brings the overall score to a 2.525 out of 10. In making this movie number 275 out of 303 on the movie spreadsheet. Now, I know that I'm in the minority in terms of the rating of this movie. I hated it. I know a lot of people liked it. I ultimately felt like this movie wasn't true to what it was. I felt like this movie, or I felt like I wanted this movie to be like Alien or Prometheus. I know that's a difficult bar for a movie to have to follow or live up to. And in this case, for me, it just didn't. Also, having seen this movie in a theater, I felt like it didn't utilize the theater at all. I wasn't enamored by space. We're in space. Like, I should have these amazing shots in scenes and be like, wow, well, at least the cinematography was amazing. It wasn't. So for me, this movie is an absolute pass. Or if you do want to see it, check it out at home. But I can tell you right now, it will not be added to my Alien DVD collection. I'm going to leave that one out. Stay tuned for the next section full of spoilers. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, this is the part of the video in which I am going to give you some thoughts about the movie. So if you don't want to have this part spoiled for you, then you should not go beyond now because I'm absolutely going to ruin this movie, starting with the stupid beginning, which underwhelms when you have like this ginormous backdrop that is space and you're in a theater and it doesn't feel big, like it doesn't feel vast. That's the whole point of seeing sci-fi movies in the theater, is the feel. You should feel small and space should feel huge, and it doesn't, and it never does throughout this entire movie. And it's one of the major reasons why I was so disappointed in this. Then you have this stupid plot, and when you finally get to action, half an hour in, you finally get to see the face hugger, which we've all been wanting. And from that point on, the movie just moves too quick. The face hugger is amazing. That scene is so cool when they're in the room and it's flashing red and they're dropping in the water and you know what's happening. And they're just flying at him and he's just batting him down left and right. What is going on? That is stupid. But it is the best scene in the movie. And then it just ends. And it ends so quick that the movie at that point for me ceases to be a horror suspense movie and is just a space action movie. And we could talk about everything else that goes on. I don't see the point in it at all. My big issue is really when you've done a poor job getting to the point where you have, I think, a decent end. And that decent end would be when the sister, who is badly wounded, chooses to inject herself with the black goo. And you have Rain in her like sleeping shorts and tank top, who, by the way, never becomes that awesome, like, cool, like, hero that Ripley or that Elizabeth Shaw was in Prometheus. Like, she never becomes that. And as she's about to get into her cryopod and sleep for the next 9 years and leave Seattle in October through May and go to Thanos' planet of sun and, I don't know, the Infinity Stones, the movie should end there. Like, that is the stopping point of the movie. And it can show the would-be sister-in-law's pod. It would show her, like, maybe maybe like a contraction, or maybe like some black goo running down her leg from like her water breaking or something. That's where it should end. But it doesn't. And instead, what it chooses to do is now introduce us to a spider crab that is supposed to be scary, and it's just so weird. It's funny. Like, I can't talk about it without like smirking because it was so stupid. And then the movie just continues to go on and on and on and on and on. And finally, after she defeats him, that's where it ends. I just felt like the hopes I had of this movie being top 3 were so unrealistic. And I don't know if it's fair to judge this movie based off the previous Alien movies that came before it, because it's Alien, it's phenomenal. But for me, this is the worst Alien movie that I've seen, besides all like the Alien vs. Predators and crap like that. And I just hope that when we do get a new Alien movie, which is honestly probably like in 6 years, it is more aligned with Prometheus, or sort of like a reimagining of the original Alien. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed this. The big goal that I have for this, obviously, is to become a millionaire with millions of subscribers and just get to watch movies and make videos. But a minor goal that I have is that for you guys to start movie clubs. Like, I'm not anti-book. I am anti-book. But movies are amazing. They bring people together. Start a movie club. And then also, another goal that I have for this is, let us please start posting the time the movie is going to start, and stop making everybody sit through trailers. I don't think this is an unreasonable request. Please post movie times. Also, go to the movies. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.